And it was really rough for me for a while to like, accept the Batista thing because again, I thought that was the reason why and the only reason why.
Can you
And
elaborate on that? I don't know the story. Are you allowed to tell me that story? Can you elaborate
yeah,
on the on that?
it's so out there.
Is it?
Um, First of all,
I must not be on the internet much.
I have never, ever, ever, ever hooked up with Batista. And I hate that people think that it was like, oh, we banged and then like whatever. No, like not 1%. Um, he and I were friends. He was dating somebody that was my friend, and he wasn't so nice to her. So, like, I would, as a friend, a homegirl, I would tell her maybe you shouldn't be with him or whatever. And he would hear me talk to her about it. And he didn't like it. So then he started to treat me differently. And he stopped shaking my hand at work. And so I didn't know what to do because it's like you're going to get heat if you don't shake hands. And so what he started to do was like at catering, he'd shake everyone's hand at the table but mine and then walk away. So I'd go, "Hey, Dave, I don't think you saw me. Have a good day." So of course that pissed him off more. And then one day I found myself in the principal's office, aka Johnny Ace, with Dave. And excuse me, he was like, "What's going on here? I can't have two talents fighting." And I was like, "Will you tell me what's going on to Batista?" And he just went off. He kind of didn't make sense. And he stormed out. And like a little bitch, I was like, "I thought we were friends." I got so emotional. And then Johnny Ace told me, "Whatever you do, just go up to him and shake his hand." So I was like, "Fine." So he's like, "He really didn't say what his problem with you was." I was like, "Exactly." So I tried to shake his hand. He wouldn't shake my hand. And then WrestleMania came around, and I felt so fancy to fly my sister in because we used to watch wrestling after church when we were little.
Yeah.
And so the fact that here I am able to fly her in, I'm performing at WrestleMania, and there was a elevator where just a bunch of us talent were in, and he was one of the people in there. I was like, "Crap, I'm the first one out of here. What do I say?" So the doors open. I'm like, "Okay, bye everyone. See you later." And then when the doors were closing, he went, "Douchebag." And I was like, "Oh my God." So Johnny Ace asked me how things are going between me and him. I told him the story. I said, "Look, if he wants to be a dick to me, that's fine. But like in front of my family and other people's family that were like in the elevator, like that's lame." He goes, "Look, I'm going to tell him I told you just to stay away from him." I was like, "Thank you." Like, thank you. So I stayed away from him. And then there was this other wrestler who never, I don't think he ever was on TV or anything, but he was doing darks all the time. And I had I had a confrontation with him in catering, and he got pissed. So again, that night, the last night I was there, I was getting ready to go on television with Kevin, and I saw that wrestler whisper to Batista. And when Batista, I like, "Oh shit, it's on." And so Batista goes, "Hey, Shelly, last I checked, what happened in catering is none of your business. So why don't you mind your own effing business?" And I sat there and I thought to my, and everyone, it was like high school. They're like, "Oh," like they're not watching the monitor anymore. They're just looking. And I was like, "Dude, I have an action figure coming out. I went to WrestleMania. What better day to get fired?" And I said, "Last I checked, you weren't even in catering. So why don't you mind your own business?" So he got pissed. He got in my face. He told me I was nothing in the business, that I don't put asses in seats. And I said, "Like I said, I don't give a shit what you think of me." And so he put his middle finger in my face and was like pushing me down with it. And I was like, "Dude, just hit me. Please hit me. Like, hit me. Let's do this." And then he storms off. And then that's when Johnny Ace came. He goes, "What happened?" And I told him, he goes, "Did you flip her off?" He goes, "I don't know, but now I am." Like, it was so lame. And so that's why I was
Wow.
offended when Johnny Ace was like, "How dare you talk to top male talent?" It's like, dude, look what he just did. So that was how that all happened, the short story. But years later, I was at a film premiere, and he was there. And at that time,
This is post like
yeah,
WWE.
many years after, and I went up to him and we chatted and we squashed our heat and we took a picture together. And so it's so crazy to me that there's people out there, they're like, "Oh, Shelly is just bitter, da, da, da," and they always bring up Batista. I guarantee you no one brings me up to him. So I think that sucks. That I'm the one that has to deal with it. They don't have the balls to tell him
Hey,
anything.
when he's on our show, we'll bring it up. All right. All right.
And then B, we squashed our heat, and C, he did me a favor because my journey with wrestling with that company, it was done. It was over. It served its purpose. Like that was it. And I'm grateful for it all, for all the crap and all the good things. Like it's helped me be who I am today. And had that not happened, I wouldn't be sitting in this house. I wouldn't have the people in my life that I do now. I wouldn't have had the experiences leading up to today. I wouldn't be sitting here right now, and I wouldn't be living the life that I do. So I don't like when people say I'm bitter, I just think it's so funny. I'm like, dude, like I am grateful for all of it. Some of it sucks, but I wouldn't be in my life today.